Y'all, when I tell you this fool Damien stole an egg and then left a wedding invitation. It's all. And I ain't gonna hold you, Allison, because of your daddy, but at the same time, if I'm Rhaenyra, I'm gonna have to slit your throat. But I know we are not about to have this 50-year-old man marrying this 8-year-old little girl. I'm just like, baby, I don't want to see this man who 100 years old about to marry this little 4-year-old girl. What's up? It's Nikki. Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, I will be recapping episode 2 of House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones prequel. Y'all, we off to a good start. I'm hype about this show. Now, at the top of this episode, we see this scene on a beach by the ocean with men who, like, not even dead, because you hear screams. Okay, you know how you go to a seafood boil and the humans is eating the crabs? Baby, the crabs is eating the humans. Like, feasting on these men as they are still alive. Y'all, it's the crab feeder. Y'all know the whole ruckus that's going on by the stepstones. Y'all, this was kind of gruesome, but why did this make me want some crabs with like some Old Bay and butter? I don't know. Was it just me? Now, we have Orion. Y'all, they was talking at this council, and I gotta tell y'all, I'm so glad that this is just following the Targaryens and folks at the palace, and we ain't following 5100 storylines and people like in Game of Thrones, because I already have a hard time like knowing what's going on when I hear names being like, who is that? They was at the council meeting talking about Orion died. I'm just like, who the fuck is Orion? But I don't think that's a character we actually really met. Basically, someone from the Kingsguard died and they gotta replace him, and that's what they're talking about at the council meeting. And y'all, we still got Rhaenyra playing waitress, you know, like she up in Hooters or something. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I don't know why she's serving these men drinks. Now, he passed in his sleep and they're like we gotta find a replacement ASAP. But y'all, the sea snake come busting up in there, and I gotta tell y'all, okay, Damon is my favorite character right now, but the sea snake and Rhaenys may be coming up behind him as my favorite since this episode aired. Now, he come in and he like, y'all diddling about in court. I gotta start saying diddling about. And he got his ship seized at the stepstones, and the crab feeder is causing all this ruckus, and y'all sitting in here dilly-dallying. I want to know what y'all gonna do about this. So, y'all know Hightower come in, and Hightower annoys me because on Game of Thrones, when somebody was a hand of the king, they didn't like talk for the king. I feel like he talks for the king. I would have been like, bro, bad, let me talk. I'm the king. But Hightower always jumping in. I really don't like Hightower. But he like, yo, we gonna compensate you. The men who dead, we gonna give their families, you know, we gonna break them off with a little something. But the sea snake is like, nah, my G, that ain't good enough. We need to go out there and stomp this fool out. So the king is just like, yo, these is free cities. We don't go to war with the free cities. And somebody else on the council is just like, yeah, bro, we don't go to war with the free cities. But shoot, child, I'm with the sea snake. But then, you know, Rhaenyra is over there pouring drinks and, you know, shucking grapes. I don't know what she's doing, y'all. But, you know, she listening, and she said, well, you got dragon riders, don't you? Send me, send us, send the dragon riders, you know, a little show of force. And the sea snake down with this. He like, okay, well, at least the princess got a plan. But, you know, Viserys, who is just weaker than weak, I don't know how the heck he got Targaryen blood. He just like, hold on now, babes, it ain't that simple. But I'm with Rhaenyra, like, baby, we got dragons. So basically, Lord Corlys wants to, you know, send folk out there, show their power, show the power of the crown, and get the crab feeder up out of there because he effing with old boy ships. You know, they say that the sea snake owns like over half of the ships and stuff, you know, that works for the do everything. Y'all, I don't know what they do, but he owns over half of the ships. Now, after Rhaenyra is like, yo, we gotta show some force. And I feel like Rhaenyra got more guts, more gusto, more ready to make moves than her daddy. He really, like, y'all, I want Viserys to die just because he annoys me and he's so weak. And I'm just like, a man like that would never be in power except for the fact that he was just born into it pretty much, because he ain't got no kind of leadership skills. Like, I wouldn't want to do a school project with him. It's just like, no, bro. He that person in the group project that just do what they told. They don't really come up with no ideas. That's Viserys. He ain't got no ideas. He just gonna, do whatever he told. And I feel like Hightower just, tell him what to do. But Hightower steps in and he's just like, yo, maybe the princess, would be better served somewhere else. Why don't she go help pick out the new King's Guard? And Viserys is just like, yeah, that's what you're gonna do. Because, Viserys just follows. He don't have no original ideas. So, Hightower, for me, it's like the Lannisters of this time. Or Littlefinger, but really I want to liken him to the Lannisters because the way he irks me is on the level of how the Lannisters irked me. Like, yeah, Littlefinger did his ish and he wasn't really a character I care for, but he ain't irked me to the level of the Lannisters. Like, I can't stand anytime I see Hightower face. Like, I just be like, God dang, like, here he go. Now, when Rhaenyra goes, and they got all these knights coming up, shouting out their resume. And y'all want to know what the resume is of the folks that's trying to be the King's Guard? Well, see, basically, they like them little small town cops that pretty much don't do nothing but help old ladies cross the street and get cats that stuck up in trees. They really ain't did nothing. And Rhaenyra is like, as they spouting out the resume, she looking like, baby, they ain't got no real battle experience. So that's when they have what was his name? Sir Christian, the cute guy from the first episode who was jousting. He come up and he actually got battle experience. So Rhaenyra is like, yeah, babes, you. And of course, Hightower come over because he always jumping in. See, this is what he used to doing with her dad, but see, she shut this down. Rhaenyra say, well, I want Sir Christian because he battle tested. And Hightower come in, hold on now, babes. Let's not be hasty because see, these other families, we got certain ties, they loyal to the crown. And she like, no, hold on now. This who I want to pick because don't we need somebody battle tested protecting my dad? But see, Hightower used to jumping in like that and having Viserys just following him. But Rhaenyra shut that all the way down. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about, babes. So, y'all, we got Alicent the snake and Viserys in his chambers. Her dad done put her on this little mission to be the queen so that his grandkids could be the heir. He want to rule over the realm. And you know what? I give it to Hightower because he's smart. So Viserys end up saying to Alicent, so you don't be telling my daughter about these little visits and conversations, do you? And I feel like that's how you know something going on. If I'm having a conversation with somebody and they gotta specifically be like, yo, you don't be telling such and such we talk, right? Well, why they can't know we talk? I just feel like this is so just low down on both of their part. It just really annoys me. Now, after the whole hoopla with the council and the sea snake not being happy, Viserys goes to see Rhaenys and Lord Corlys, the sea snake. I like to call him the sea snake instead of Lord Corlys. But, he goes see Rhaenys and Lord Corlys. And it's basically like, yo, I'm sorry about that ruckus. I value the bond between our houses. Rhaenys is my favorite cousin. And the sea snake apologized. But see, the sea snake is smart as well because he ain't really apologizing, but he apologized because he like, hold on now, baby, I got a proposition. And he ends up suggesting, him and Rhaenys suggest that they unite their families by marrying their daughter to Viserys, right? To show that the greatest days of Viserys' reign is in front, not behind, because they basically go through a whole list of stuff that is how the realm is looking at the crown right now. Having a girl that's the heir, everything happening at the stepstones, and just different things that's going on. They like, yo, people looking at your house like y'all vulnerable right now. Y'all weak right now. So basically, what I gather from everything that people are talking about in the show is even if Rhaenyra was a boy, you just need a bunch of heirs. Like, you need strong family ties. So if something happened to you, you got this heir. Then if something happened to that heir, you got another heir, because you don't want your line to kind of, I guess, die out. So they basically like, yo, marry our daughter. And we end up finding out that it hasn't even been 6 months since his wife was brutally murdered by his word, and I ain't gonna ever forgive him for that. But I guess it's been about maybe 4 or 5 months, because he basically saying it's barely been half a year. Now, I said in my last video that somebody is putting roots on Viserys when it comes to that throne, because remember that scene when him and Daemon had their little face off and he cut his fingers on those knives on the throne? Well, in this episode, it looked like that same spot where he got cut at is just turning gangrene or disgusting, is rotten. And I'm just sitting like, baby, I was a tomboy and I was always scraping my knee or cutting myself trying to climb a fence, and my cuts ain't never look like that. Like, that ain't just no normal cut. And I don't know if they just ain't got good hygiene. Maybe it's been dirty. They ain't been keeping it clean. I don't know. But cuts don't do this. Somebody putting roots on this man. Somebody, like, are we going to have the Red Witch in this series? Because somebody is putting some roots on Viserys. And we got a disgusting scene that I wish I was prepared for. Y'all, I don't like nasty. They put his hand in this bowl of maggots because, they going to eat the dead flesh away. But baby, cut shouldn't be looking like that. And I don't know how this is going to play out, but somebody putting roots on Viserys. I don't know what's happening. And I wouldn't put it past Hightower to get his daughter as the queen, so his grandbabies could be the heir, and kill off Viserys, because then now his folk gonna run the show. Now, Viserys ends up, while the doctor is mending his hand, telling Hightower and the doctor about the marriage proposal by the sea snake and Rhaenys. And baby, when I tell you, I don't trust the palace doctor, I don't trust Hightower, I don't trust nobody on that council. I pretty much don't trust nobody that's around Viserys. I feel like everybody know he weak and easily manipulated and know how to just, play him. I don't know. I don't trust none of these folk. Now, the palace doctor ends up giving good reason as to why marrying the sea snake and Rhaenys' daughter, Lena. Y'all, I think I'm saying that right. I think that's her name, y'all. But he ended up giving them, like, yo, this is good. That's a strong family. And let me tell you, Hightower ain't sweating. You ain't gonna ever catch him sweating, because even though even though Lena or Lenana or the girl, the daughter of the sea snake and Rhaenys, even though she is the eldest daughter, and y'all, I use the word eldest loosely because she ain't, but she the eldest daughter of the richest family in the realm. She comes from great stock, and she got, great stock as they called it, and she has Targaryen blood. Just going down the line, baby, Hightower ain't sweating because he done got his daughter in there early. And he, when your parent a master manipulator, now she a master manipulator, he know his daughter got this. And when I tell y'all, I was not prepared for this scene that came up, baby. We saw in the first episode, when they was jousting, we saw this little girl. And y'all, who is in charge of the wig department? Is it the folks from Tyler Perry movies? Because these wigs ain't hitting. They terrible. I don't like the sea snake little dreadlock wig. I don't know why he couldn't, like, white hair is fine, but why he had to have that dreadlock wig? Who doing his retwist? Who is the loctician up in Westeros? Okay, but when we saw the little girl in the first episode with that crazy behind wig on her head, the little reject Diana Ross wig, I just saw a little girl. I didn't know who child she was. So when they was talking about marrying their daughter, I figured she was gonna be young because that's the time period, and it is what it is. I didn't expect baby to be this young. We see Viserys walking outside talking to this girl. When I tell y'all, I was watching this show like, okay, I know Game of Thrones puts boundaries, baby. I know they do. But I know we are not about to have this 50-year-old man marrying this 8-year-old little girl. It was just turning my stomach. Like, the scene was so uncomfortable to watch. I'm just like, baby, I don't want to see this man who 100 years old about to marry this little 4-year-old girl, because baby look young. Now, I think in the show they said that she 12, but y'all, this little girl look like she about 6 years old. Like, baby is tiny, and she had the wig on. The wig looked like the Blob, and it was about to swallow her whole. Did y'all ever see that movie, The Blob, where it's like this big just thing that swallows folk? It's like a giant bubble gum, and it just be swallowing you. That's what the little girl wig looked like. It looked like this giant blob that was about to swallow her whole. I don't understand. Like, baby, you could give folks white hair, but it ain't got the wig bigger than the little girl. But anyway, now they walking and talking, and it was so disturbing for this little toddler to be talking about, I will bear you many heirs. It just, oh y'all, I couldn't. And Viserys is like, did your daddy tell you to say that? Now, what did your mama say? Baby. Mama told her, hold on y'all, let me get the quote right. Okay, let me get the quote right. So when Viserys is like, okay, so what did your mama say? Y'all, the little toddler say that her mom told her, I wouldn't have to bed you until I'm 14. And one thing I will say I appreciate the fact that Viserys was just as repulsed by this little girl age as I was. Like, okay, thank you, because, and I feel like I read something that said, like, this is how, stuff was done back then. But I even saw something that said they had like an 8-year-old girl promised to marry like a 30-year-old man, and you get married at 8, but apparently, you don't have to do nothing until you're 14, which, I don't, okay, 14, yeah. But baby, while all this is going on, Rhaenyra is looking at this, Rhaenys is looking, and I like this little scene between them, but I was kind of feeling like I like Rhaenyra's fire and, how she just be reading folk, but I was like, hold on, babe, I need you to calm down a bit. Now, Rhaenys asked Rhaenyra these names, y'all. Like, how does she feel seeing this? And Rhaenyra is like, well, that's your daughter, how you feel? And of course Rhaenys don't like it, but she like, I understand the order of things, and I just really don't think you do, right? And I didn't feel like, I like Rhaenys, and I feel like I'm gonna really like her and her husband in this show. And I personally don't feel like she was trying to come at Rhaenyra on like some evil-ish. I think she was trying to come at her on some, because Rhaenyra don't understand the order of things. The fact that she said, when I'm queen, I'm gonna change the order, baby, you don't even understand what's going on. And I feel like she gotta just, you still learning the game, okay? Rhaenys know the game. And Rhaenys is pretty much telling her that you really think these men are going to make you the queen? You really think they're going to put you on that throne? Because I feel the same way that Rhaenys feel of what she was saying. I feel like Rhaenyra's title of heir, that's just, she talking about, oh, they bent the knee to me. You mean because Rhaenys was trying to say the men had their chance to pick a woman and put her in power, and they didn't. And Rhaenyra snapped back with, no, baby, they just didn't pick you. No, Rhaenyra, they not picking a woman. It don't matter who the woman is. So Rhaenys is trying to tell her, look, you in there serving drinks. You really think these men looking at you like you a real heir? And I feel like Rhaenyra should understand, you only the heir because your dad just ain't have no other options, and the realm was pushing that we need an heir in place, and he wanted to spite Daemon, which Rhaenyra says herself in another scene. Like, he ain't really picked me as heir, he just wanted to spite Daemon. I feel like she pretty much just the heir in title alone, because they pretty much feel like, well, he gonna get married and he gonna have some sons, and they gonna be the ones that's the heir. And Rhaenys said that to her, she was like, your dad is going to remarry, and he's going to have kids, and some will likely be male, and when your dad dies, they are going to look to those males to be on the throne. Not you, baby. I feel like I was feeling everything Rhaenys was saying. And instead of Rhaenyra being so quick to just snap back, she need to be peeping game. Because, and I love when Rhaenys said, where is it? Men would sooner put the realm to torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne. Let me just throw my notes away after that. I don't need nothing else after that. I'm saying like, Rhaenyra, girl, peep game. Listen to what Rhaenys is trying to tell you. I'm saying like, if I'm in this position, I'm finna be peeping game from everybody. Hightower, the council and how they move, the politics of it all, which I do like that aspect of the series. And it does seem like Rhaenyra is peeping that stuff when she's in there, pouring their drinks. But I really didn't like how she was kind of pitting herself at Rhaenys, because I felt like Rhaenys was saying some real ish. Baby, you only the heir entitled. You not gonna be on the throne, baby, and you not gonna change the order of things. You need to understand the order of things and how to navigate up in that mud. And what was crazy to me is when Rhaenys and Rhaenyra was talking and Rhaenyra called Rhaenys the queen that never was. And I'm like, baby, if only you know, that's going to be your title. You're going to be the queen that never was as well. I don't understand why she think, I don't know, I didn't get the attitude she was going at Rhaenys with. Like, why you think she wasn't picked? You really don't think it's just because she a woman? Like, you think it's her? No, baby, y'all are one in the same. And that's the thing that was crazy to me with that scene. Is I'm like, Rhaenyra and Rhaenys, y'all one of the same, baby. You need to be listening to Rhaenys. We have Viserys and Alicent having another little quiet, little private moment, child. And he talking about how the realm is wanting him to marry, and the prospect is Laena. And y'all, Alicent say, I'm sure she'll enjoy your company just as I have. When I tell you, Alicent slick as oil. Alicent slick as oil. But I mean, look at her daddy. And I feel like, of course, Alicent is just her father's puppet. You know what I mean? But the way, look, I don't like Alicent, but at the same time, I understand her position. I understand as a woman, her dad told her to do this. And in this day and age, look, you can't be a difficult, woman. She had to do what her dad told her to do. But baby, the way she playing this game, she good. Alicent slick as motherfucking oil. All the little lines she was saying when he broke his dragon, getting it fixed. Baby, your daddy ain't tell you all that. Like, her daddy not in her ear telling her how to play the king and every move to make. He just in her ear telling her, go visit the king. She know what he asking her to do, but he ain't telling her these moves. She coming up with these moves on her own. Baby slick as oil. Baby slick as oil. And I ain't gonna hold you, Alicent, because of your daddy, but at the same time, if I'm Rhaenyra, I'm gonna have to slit your throat. I'm gonna have to. Now, look, Alicent, I'm gonna need her to get killed off. I'm sorry, but I do, but she probably ain't, because she gonna be the queen. And I don't trust Alicent, because you feel like it's the loud folk, you know what I mean, that you gotta look out for. No, it's the quiet ones. I don't trust Alicent. She act like she all soft-spoken, but them be the sneaky ones. Them be the evil ones. I don't trust her, and I don't like Alicent. I don't. Now, they end up having an emergency council meeting, child, because Daemon done stole one of the dragon eggs. And he stole a particular egg that was for Viserys' son that died, which that ended up getting Rhaenyra hot. She was upset by that. Y'all, when I tell you, this fool Damien stole an egg and then left a wedding invitation. I was like, what the hell? Damien is trying to marry his side chick because, F his wife. He don't want to do that lady. He said he ain't choose his wife. Now, I really want to see Damien's wife. We ain't seen the lady because I'm like, baby, is she really as just horrible and terrible as he be making her out to be? Now, Viserys decides that he gonna go to Dragonstone to, because Damien done stole the egg, and that's what Damien had. He had Dragonstone. But Hightower jump in as he does, and it's like, it's too dangerous. And I'm just sitting here watching like, baby, does Viserys make any decisions for himself? I mean, like, any at all. Or does Hightower and the council make all the decisions for him? Specifically, Hightower, child. Now, Hightower run the show. He the puppet master behind the man who runs the realm. He the puppet master behind the king, child. He literally says, I cannot allow it. It's too dangerous. I would have been like, hold on now, baby. I'm the king. You talking about you can't allow it. Don't tell me what you can't allow. Baby, I'm the king. I'll be throwing that out all the time if I'm dealing with Hightower, child. Now, Hightower ends up going with the king's guards. And before he leaves, he in there with Alicent, getting himself together. And he says to her, will you see the king tonight? And Alicent is like, if you wish it. Y'all, the way this man pimping out his daughter, like, I just can't. But I mean, I don't expect nothing less from somebody like Hightower. Now, y'all, the bridge scene was so freaking good. I love Damien. I can't say that enough. I know I keep saying that, y'all. But, yo, how they filmed this ish? Because where was this bridge at? Was it just green screen? That freaking bridge they was on was massive. It was insane. Now, Hightower's up there. He got the king's guard behind him. Damien is across from them. He got his bride-to-be and his folk behind him. His little army that, the king gave him. And Hightower was disrespecting the hell out of the side chick. Like, it made me feel uncomfortable how many whores was just getting slown at the girl. Is slown or slown at the girl? Thrown at the girl. Child, they was just, all the whores and all the land was getting thrown at that poor lady. And I felt so bad. And especially because later when she's talking to Damien, she look at the time period. Like, baby, I don't want to be alive back then. She basically had no choice. She got sold around and stuff, and then all the whores they just kept throwing at the girl. It hurt my heart, child. What word am I trying to think of every time I keep? It's like I want to say an S word regarding them just slinging. There you go. That's the word I was trying to say. Slinging whores at the girl. I'm like, what S word am I trying to say? Now, baby, when Damien pull out his sword and his men pull out their sword, when Hightower threatens his unborn child, yo, Hightower shook. Hightower looked shook like a mofo, and I was here for it. I can't stand Hightower, and I love seeing him so shook, baby. When the dragon came out, and I'm sitting here like, baby, who rolls up on a Targaryen? Baby, he got a dragon. I would have loved if this scene went, dragon burns all them fools except for Sir Christian because he fine. But, child, I would have loved if the scene went like that. And Hightower was just motherfucking dead. I feel like I need Hightower to die. But I know he gonna be around because in the world of the Game of Thrones universe, evil prevails. That's how I felt in the first seasons of Game of Thrones. I was just like, dang, bro, evil just always winning. The innocent folk die and then evil just reigns. But child, I just know he gonna be around. Now, Rhaenyra ends up rolling in on her dragon. And she gets down off the dragon and she walking past Hightower and he's telling Sir Christian, take this, his tone is like, get this little girl out of here. But he say, take the princess back to safety. And I love when she like, hold on now, my G, bad back. Because my dragon is serious about me. He protective of me. So I suggest you bad back. And she goes over to Damien, and I get confused by the conversation because I'm like, hold on now, baby, is your side chick pregnant or not? Because it sounded like he was saying, well, she could have a baby one day. And I'm saying, like, baby, you done stole the egg and caused all this ruckus, and the girl ain't even pregnant. So Rhaenyra is like, look, I'm the reason you no longer heir. So since you so upset and doing all this, why don't you just kill me and be done with all this bother? I'm gonna start saying be done with all this bother. Y'all, I love Rhaenyra's attitude. I don't really care for the actress. I feel like she a little bland for me. Like she not giving me that oomph that I need from the character. But I love the lines that's being written for her character. Like, Uncle, come on now, baby. If you just upset because I'm the heir, you just kill me and get it over with, baby, and stop all this ruckus. So she ends up getting the egg back, saved all their lives, baby. Because if they would have fought Damien and his dragon, baby, Damien wouldn't even have to fight. The dragon could have just got all them out of there. And Hightower ain't like that ish. When she get the egg and she go walking past, the way Hightower was looking, he ain't like that. He ain't like that at all. But Joe, when I tell you Damien got some swag, I really like this guy. There was a scene with him walking through the castle past his men, and baby got a walk. Like, I like his walk. You know somebody got a little style when they got a good walk. But Joe, is it just me? The side chick accent was killing me. It was so annoying. Yo, what the heck kind of accent is that? I couldn't place it. It was like, y'all, like I couldn't even stand to listen to her talk. Like her accent sounded terrible. Is that a real accent? If it is, I'm sorry to the folk with that accent. Or is it because the actress ain't got a real accent and she put in on the accent? Y'all, that accent sounded terrible. It was annoying. I really couldn't handle listening to her talk. Like I really couldn't. But basically, she not happy with all of this because she like, baby, you a Targaryen. You can afford to play these games. I can't. And y'all, the poor little lady probably gonna get killed because, you know, we're in Game of Thrones universe. But hey, maybe not. Maybe they're gonna give us something different. But I feel like the poor baby gonna die. I feel like that's the rule of Game of Thrones. The innocent die and evil prevails. Now, Viserys ends up going to seek the opinion from somebody. Tell y'all, who is this guy? I think he's somebody from the council, but I don't know his name. So Viserys tells the guy, ever since my name was called at the Great Council, you know, when they had to choose the king between Viserys and Rhaenys, he's like, I felt Corlys Valerian, the sea snake, envious gaze on me. Lord Jesus, y'all. When he said, I was like, oh, hell no. I know they ain't about to kill the black man off already. Like, God dang. Like, are they finna Ned Stark, my boy? Is he gonna be the big death of this first season? I couldn't believe when Viserys said that. Like, that irked me so bad. That irked me so bad. Like, why is you got your... Look. But you know what? Somebody told me that in the books, the sea snake outlives everybody. Now, I don't know if the show gonna stick to the books, child. I ain't read the books, but that was somebody told me. Now, the guy ends up telling Viserys, baby, you sit on the highest seat in the realm, and proud men don't like having to look up. Now, Viserys ends up asking about the marriage proposal, and the guy says, Lord Corlys is your master of ships. She is the eldest daughter of the wealthiest family in the realm. What's to mislike? This is a perfect match. But when he's like, what's to mislike? Viserys is like, she 12. And the guy's like, she'll mature, but baby, I'm saying like, okay, well, baby, 12, but Allison 14, that's only 2 years. What's the difference? 2 years for me between 12 and 14. Now, and then I end up thinking about something else. Now, y'all, do I have the time right? Viserys done been king for 9 years, right? So I'm going to presume that Hightower has been his hand for 9 years. So Allison is 14. So does that mean Viserys has known her since she was 5 years old? Because that's going to make this ish even more creepy. But I don't know, y'all. Now, the guy he's going to, you know, for his opinion is like, yo, we are on the edge of war at the stepstones. You know, the sea snake owns nearly, you know, like over half the ships in the realm. And that if you want my unencumbered opinion, wed his daughter and fix Lord Corlys as a permanent ally at your side. And the guy made all the sense in the world. And I really feel like if Hightower was telling him what this man was telling him, he would listen. Cause it's something, he just do whatever Hightower tell him to do, child. Now, the sea snake, Rhaenys, and Hightower pimping out their little prepubescent daughters, child, is sending me. It's sending me. I can't. I can't. But Hightower is a master manipulator. He got in early. Like, the wife and child bodies were still warm when he was sending his daughter after the king. Like, he was ready. He was peeping this ish. So he ain't even worried about it, y'all. Now, Viserys announces who he gonna marry. And there wasn't no suspense. Was it suspense for y'all? I knew he was gonna say Alicent. I knew he was. Despite all the sense that the doctor and the guy he saw for counsel was saying about him taking the marriage proposal from Rhaenys and the sea snake, I knew he was going to go with Alicent. Because the Hightowers are master manipulators and they got their hooks in early. I knew that's where he was going to go. But as king, he should have made the smart decision. Not the emotional decision because he liked the girl or whatever, because that was the point of marriage in these days. It wasn't love. It was, we need to get these two families together. We need to make sure we are in a position of power and status and all that stuff. And the smart choice for marriage would have been the little Tyler. Hightower is already an ally. He's your hand. I would have listened to the man who say, fix Lord Corlys as your ally at your side permanently. Now, Rhaenyra ends up storming out the room when Viserys announces he married her best friend, Alicent, and Alicent ain't say nothing to her, and Dad ain't say nothing to her. Now, I'm sitting here like, Dad, just last night you were saying you don't want us to become estranged, but then today you surprised me with the fact that you married my friend. And they had a conversation about the dad remarrying, and the girl was on board. She was like, I understand how this works. You have to get married again. I know you love my mom. Dad, that was the time to say, yo, I've been peeping your best friend. Of course, the sea snake not happy either, child. He's like, this is an absurdity. My house is Valerian, and it's the greatest power in the realm. And of course, you know, Viserys ain't like that. He like, I'm the king. Now, Hightower is good. I will give him that. I will give him that. Them bodies was still warm. They weren't cold in the ground, as people say, even though they didn't get put in the ground. But they weren't cold in the ground. He was already sending his little daughter in there. I will give Hightower that. He's smart. He's smart. He's thinking ahead. He know the politics, and I will give him that. Now, we get this ending to the episode, right? It's a scene with the sea snake, and I was like, hold on now, did the black man say his family is the wealthiest and most powerful? I love that. And I was like, hold on now, did he say his family is even, his house is even older than the Targaryen? I was like, okay, baby, maybe you is gonna outlive everybody. I need the sea snake and Rhaenys to be as smart as I think they are, and outdo, outlive, outsmart, outplay all these fools. I really do. I'm team sea snake and Rhaenys and they little toddler daughter, Lena. I know I keep saying her name wrong, y'all. I just feel, you ever just feel like you saying her name wrong? I just feel like I do. But y'all, as they had this scene, and the sea snake was sitting there talking, and they trying to, you know, pan slow. I'm like, directly, go ahead and pan. We know who he baby, we know who he talking to. Did y'all not know? Was I the only one who knew? I know I wasn't the only one who knew that he was talking to Damien, child. But y'all, the sea snake and the road prince, they're built an alliance, and I love to see it because they're my favorite characters. This scene for me was so good, and I mean, look, these folks is acting. This is a master class. Like, I came with the wigs, but they is acting, okay? And it's something about that fire crackling in the back. I just love that. Y'all, listen to me. I love how it's dark, but we could see. And I like when Damien is like, you know, it was never my brother's strong suit. And the sea snake is like, what? Being king? Baby, it ain't. You just telling, he not even talking ish about his brother. He just telling the truth. But I do love when Damien's like, yo, hold on now, bro. I could dog out my brother. You can't. I really feel like, I kind of don't like how they paint Damien. Like when they was trying to, portray it to the king, like he would kill the king to be. I really don't see Damien like that. I love Damien. And I feel like he loyal to his family. He love his niece. He love his brother. He just be speaking the truth. Like when he was telling his brother that he should be his brother hand, which child he sure should be instead of Hightower. But he was like, I would protect you from yourself. I feel like Damien is not what they try to make him out to be. He might be a little rebellious or, but I don't think he would kill his brother or harm his niece, or I don't see him doing stuff like that. But hey, that's just the vibe that I get right now. Now, the sea snake is basically telling him that while Viserys is diddling about, the crab feeder is getting the chance to grow stronger, and if the shipping lanes fall, it's going to cripple the sea snake's family. And since Viserys won't go out there and destroy the crab feeder, he wants Damien to go out to the stepstones and destroy the crab feeder with his army. Y'all, I'm ready for that battle. I'm ready for that battle, baby. The dragon versus the crabs. I feel like, I can't believe we only got 2 episodes so far, because I am so in this. I am so invested. And I feel like the tension that is building is so freaking good, and I feel like it is going to be an amazing, just climactic moment once everything just hits that stride, that climactic moment that a series always ends up getting to. Is going to be so good, and this build for me is so exciting. I'm literally just so intently into everything, each scene that comes up, each character that's talking. I'm just so into the moment. I feel like they're doing really, really good with this show. And I feel like they're doing good in the fact that I'm not even comparing this to Game of Thrones. And I feel like that's a rut that prequels can get into. First of all, when you already know the ending, or when the original was so good, because yeah, Game of Thrones ain't end well, but when Game of Thrones was good, that ish was good. Like, I'm not even a fan of fantasy, adventure, dragons, and following multiple. I'm not into this ish at all, but I was obsessed with Game of Thrones. I got in on season 3. I binged the first 2 seasons in one weekend before the 3rd season started. I was mother freaking hooked. And I feel like I don't find myself watching House of Dragons and comparing it to Game of Thrones. And that's a great feat for this show. It stands alone. It is its own thing, and it has its own greatness and magic. Greatness that we ain't even really seen yet, because I feel like the issue's really gonna hit its stride and really just pop off. And man, the tension is so, I be finding myself on like the edge of my seat, because I feel like I'm just like, first of all, it's the Game of Thrones world, so I feel like you just kind of never know what issue's gonna go. Because baby, I ain't see that red wedding coming. I ain't see it coming. Maybe other folk did, maybe I didn't. I was like, God damn, what the Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.